This is the Effective Executive Program overview. It will get updated from time to time. In this particular video, I'm going to talk about how I've put this together and a little bit on the why associated with it, but more to give you an overview of how it's constructed. So the first thing is I'm talking a lot of my YouTube videos and my podcasts about being efficient versus being effective. And if, in essence, being efficient is doing things right, and being effective is doing the right thing. Now, in this training, I will put links to the video that explains this in a little bit more detail. It's not necessary to listen to, but I think it's helpful. Also, that performance between efficient and effective, that you want to do the right things. And that's really the focus of this executive education program. Now, that leads to analytical versus synthetic types of thinking. And we're all analytical, and we break things down into pieces. And what I find is that executives get larger gains when they can understand and see the whole. But just saying that you understand and can see the whole doesn't make it so. So part of the objective of this education program and the foundational piece of it is developing your synthetic thinking skills, or your ability to see the whole, not just from reading about it, but from applying it to your organization. And to me, this is the best way to learn anything, is the application to your own organization, as opposed to some case study or some reading or whatever. So all of this is derived from what I call the 95 method, that 95% of the performance of your organization is down to the system that you work in, and 5% attributable to the individual or special causes or events. Now, to develop the synthetic thinking, we're going to build a system map. And this will become a touchstone for your organization for years to come. It can be updated. It can be, you can do almost anything you want with it, but it gives you perspective. And you start by building the system map in my system by developing what I call the customer lens, or looking through the customer lens. How does the customer see your organization? The other component associated with the system map is the thinking lens. So I use something called theories at work. What are the theories that you have in your organization about things like motivation and control and things of that sort? And being able to look at your organization and understand it in your response to customers by understanding what your thinking lens is. And by virtue of reconciling these two, I find that organizations not only get a better understanding, but they can also get new theories associated with furthering your organization. So the first part of this is crafting a system map. You're going to be able to, and once it's completed, you're going to be able to determine priorities. You're going to have this touchstone that I talked about and have meaningful conversations about the organization. And you're going to uncover unmet customer needs by virtue of looking through these two lenses, and how you can react to them. And as I mentioned, develop new theories. So once the system map is completed, you personally will feel more confident and informed about your organizational knowledge and the opportunities to create value, not only for your career, but for your organization. And this is all about doing the right things. So once you've got to gain this great understanding about how your organization is put together, the second piece to how this effective executive program proceeds is the AIM construction. I think an understanding of your organization has to start first, and looking through the two lenses that will help inform what the aim is. Now, W. Edwards Deming taught me that without an aim, there is no system. So there has to be these components working together. And by virtue of that, you will build a mission, vision, values, and key measures. Now, I used to put a lot of emphasis on this and spend an inordinate amount of time trying to get the mission, vision, values, and key measures nailed down. It sometimes would take months in order to do it. And even then, you're going to need to refine it. I recently moved more towards the narrative, which is how we can get people to remember what your organization is all about, because very few people can recite a mission, vision, values, and key measures of their organization. And stories help us communicate those things that are important from an organizational standpoint. And I found that narrative is very powerful. So when we're doing the AIM construction, you're going to be learning about how to tell your story. And to me, it's, as I said, is more important than the mission, vision, values, and key measurements. So this communication mechanism, and we'll have conversations in AIM construction about how we communicate it, because that is very important within your organization, because it's what you're about. The third thing is what I call system progression. Now, this gets into methods. Now, we talked about a method that I take you through in order to develop your system thinking, your synthetic thinking, and then a method for constructing your AIM. Those two are combined really into one in my mind. That gives you a full picture of being able to see the whole. The other methods are what I like to call learning leverage points. They are things that you need methods for within your organization to increase your chances of you not only personally creating value for your organization, but for your organization to be able to benefit by the creation of that value. And these things are decision-making, innovation, executive data analytics, and organizational design, and more importantly, a customer in design. So those are the four things that you'll get methods for in this. To this date of the recording of this video, what I have completed is everything up to the AIM construction. I'm working on that component now. So the system progression piece, I've got the pieces. I just haven't put them all into videos at this juncture. And I want to be clear that what you'll get for those that sign up for a lifetime membership, basically, when you purchase this, is you're going to get the decision making, you're going to get the innovation, you're going to get the executive data analytics, and you're going to get the organizational design. But I'm going to teach you how to sing a few verses, as opposed to you can go very deep into each one of those four things. So there'll be other things that you can purchase on top of it, but I'm going to give you enough that doesn't overwhelm you. And you may already have a method for some of these things, which is fine. But you'll get a few verses of the song as opposed to the whole song, because there's a lot more that goes into things like innovation and executive data analytics. But getting you the basics is what I'm trying to get in this effective executive education program. So hopefully that makes sense. This will give you a good overview of that. This video has provided you a good overview of what the education program is about, where it's headed, and what's involved in it, and how we'll be updating it over a period of time. And obviously this video will get updated as we move forward.